Good day and welcome to the Herbert Dennard Show. We have with us Bob McAdoo, NBA All-Star, All-Pro, Rookie of the Year, champion with the Lakers. Bob McAdoo, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
You started off with the Buffalo Braves.
Yeah.
I believe you won Rookie of the Year that year.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
How was the experience in Buffalo?
The experience was fantastic for me because I got a chance to play under Coach Jack Ramsey. It was an expansion team that was about 2 or 3 years old at the time. We were a very young team, and I think for any rookie that comes in, whether you're a lottery pick or whatever, you want to have a chance to play, and that's what I had to do in Buffalo, you know, to prove myself.
What kind of coach was Jack Ramsey? I know he won the championship with Portland Trailblazers, Bill Walton.
He was a tough taskmaster. You know, he was very organized, very strict, which, you know, was no problem to me because I was used to that. You know, from the coaches that I had in high school and North Carolina with Dean Smith. He was a strict disciplinarian also. Into physical fitness, we were in the best shape of probably any team in the league. You know, that's probably why we, not only was I scoring champion, but we led the league in scoring because we were a running team, a very highly conditioned team, and it was just fantastic for me.
You played there in Buffalo how many years?
4.5 years before I got traded.
And where was you traded to?
I was traded to the New York Knicks.
The New York Knicks, you was there a couple of years?
Yeah, I was there for 2.5 years before I was moved, traded again.
What was wrong or right in New York?
New York was fantastic.
That was pre-Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, it was pre-Patrick Ewing. The deal in New York, I had the chance, when I got to New York, it was probably right after it was about 1976. I think the Knicks had won the championship, I think, in 71. So, you know, the people, you know, New York is a tough place to play in.
I heard.
And, you know, they expected a lot. We were not a championship team. We still had a couple of holdover guys from that championship team in 71, Earl Monroe, Walt Frazier, who were getting older and about out of the game. So they were trying to put together another team, another championship team, but we weren't quite there. We came in second place, but second place is not good enough for New York. So they ended up, you know, we had a good team. Red Holzman was the coach, and Willis Reed was the coach, and we never got to where we wanted to get, which was the championship game, and they ended up trading everybody. And
I know they traded Walt Frazier.
They traded Walt Frazier to Cleveland. They traded, who else was on that team? They traded Lonnie Shelton to Seattle Supersonics. He won a championship. They traded Spencer Haywood to the Lakers. He won a championship. And eventually I got to the Lakers and I got me a championship. I thought they were very impatient in trying to put a team together. You know, you got to build a team. You can't buy a team. And they didn't give us a chance to put a championship team together there.
The Lakers, was you the starting power forward?
No, Kurt Rambis started. I probably should have been starting, but
I know you should have been starting.
They started Kurt Rambis because he wanted me to come off the bench and give the spark, and that happened during all the regular season, all my years there. But when we got to the playoffs, I still came off the bench, but my time increased a lot. You know, when we got to the playoffs.
How was it playing with Kareem?
It was fantastic. I mean, you had a guy that was basically on the same page with you. He was an all-star. He was, you know, probably the best center. He was the best scoring center ever in the NBA. And, you know, if our offense bogged down, even though we had a bunch of all-stars, we knew we could throw it into Kareem. And
the
sky hook was unstoppable.
Right. You was also there with Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Byron Scott, Norm Nixon, who was from Macon, Georgia. From Macon. I mean, we had a Michael Cooper. We had an all-star lineup. Cooper Loop, exactly.
You had all of those guys. And when you first got in the league, I think Oscar Robertson was still playing.
Oscar Robertson was in his last year. I think he was about 35 years old. He was with the Milwaukee Bucks. He was at the end of his career. I also had the fortune to play against one of my idols that I watched growing up, Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain was in his last year with the Los Angeles Lakers, so I was able to, 72, I was able to play Jerry West. I was able to play against three legends, guys that I'd watched growing up in the league.
But they could not, even Chamberlain couldn't check you.
No.
None of the players, none of those big guys could check Bob McAdoo.
Well, that's because I was inside, outside, and at that time, you didn't see too many guys my side roving around, you know, 15, 17, 20 feet. So most big guys were always lane guys in the lane, you know,
right,
taking care of the lane, taking care of the rim, and I was outside shooting jump shots, which was, you know, probably my forte at that time.
Who could block your shot? Did anybody block your shot? I mean, at 6'10", you're pretty big guy, and you got a nice touch.
No, nobody. I never had any problems getting my shot off over people. And you know, if I had bigger people, like if I was playing against Kareem or Artis Gilmore, you know, you don't challenge guys like that because it's, you know, that's their territory. The lane is 7'2". It's hard to get shots over them, so I usually took the bigger guys like that outside the lane, and it was, you know, because of my mobility and speed, I was able to get off my shots.
How about a player like Dirk? He's a power forward now.
Yeah.
And, I think he was the best shooting big man that played the game. It might have been somebody else, but the other person that's in close range to you is probably Dirk and probably Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, you know, Kevin Garnett, you know, those are big guys.
Kevin Garnett is somebody's player.
Yeah, he could play, you know, he's getting older now, but, you know, in his younger years, he was 6'11", could shoot from the outside. Anytime you see 6'10", 6'11" guys, Dirk Nowitzki, 7 feet, they can shoot from the outside, they're going to be a hard cover for anybody. You know, you look at Kevin Garnett, he made MVP one year, Nowitzki, MVP, and they beat us in the championship this year. He was MVP of the playoffs. And Kevin Durant, his time is coming. You know, he's still a young player. He's probably, you know, in the future will be an MVP before his career is over. It's, you know, when you're 6'10" and can shoot 7 feet, and you can shoot like that, you're impossible to guard.
I think he played more like you than any other player I've seen in the NBA.
Probably Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely reminds me of me in my younger days in Buffalo and New York.
Right. But how do you look at Kevin Garnett? It seems like to me, and I like it, he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He bangs his head up against
That's how he plays. That's you know, he's a very intense player. You know, he took his Minnesota team as far as he can go, and he's basically like me. You know, I was lucky enough in my career to get with a team like the Lakers, where you had other all-stars that could take you over the hump. The same thing happened to him. He was able to get with a team in Boston with Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, and he was able to get him a championship in Boston. But he plays with that rage. You know, he's pumping his chest, hitting his head against the, you know, and talking to other players, trying to get in their head. That's the type of player he is.